It is a oneness. And this oneness is simply knowledge. There is no real waker. There is the knowledge of the waker. There is no real dreamer. There is the knowledge of the dreamer. There is no real deep sleeper. There is simply the knowledge of the absence of the waker and the dreamer. Similarly, there is no real Turiya. There is no real I. I do not exist. This is the most important realization. The ego shudders here. The ego is afraid. Oh, I do not exist. No, I want to be. I am someone. I am someone who has created this something. The ego shudders. It is afraid. This is the most strongest, the most intense obstacle that you will meet on this path. The ego does not like the idea that I do not exist. Yeah. The fourth, Turiya, is the I sense. Right now you have this sense of I which is listening to this knowledge. Take your focus away from Ekta to that sense of I. Just the sense of I, not the waker that is sitting, not the body, not the mind. Beyond the mind, there is simply the sense of I. Do you recognize that? That sense of I starts shaking, shuddering at this thought that, oh, I do not exist. This shuddering, this restlessness will be your major obstacle. It will bring in attachments and say, see, the spouse is very important. The child is important. Oh, this empire that you have built, multi-million-dollar empire, this is very important. It will bring up something or the other. It will bring up your religious guru. It will bring up your technique. It will say this is more important. It wants to hold on to that which makes it feel I am someone. I am something. Till the time you hold on to I am someone, Turiya cannot stand alone. Remember, the moment you recognize the sense of I standing alone by itself, without the crutch of the waker, without the crutch of the dreamer, and without the crutch of the absence of the waker and dreamer called the deep sleeper, when Turiya stands alone, the I thought stands alone, it shudders, it quivers, it collapses. There is no more an I. There is only a oneness remaining. This is very clearly evident in the long Buddha meditations that we do, where we do not meditate as the waker. We simply inquire as the Turiya. Allow the Turiya to stand alone. And finally, even the Turiya collapses. When this I sense collapses, the oneness of the ocean becomes evident. Then it becomes clear there is no 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it is all one. All one. A better way of saying it is, there is no two. There is no two. Yeah? There is no multiplicity. Oh, it is all God. All God. There is nothing that is outside God. Nothing. Everything is God. The holy is God, the unholy is God. The beauty is God, even the ugliness is God. Good is God, evil is God. All is God. There cannot be an outside God, because if something were to be outside of God, there would be a possibility of it being more powerful than God. If there was something outside God, it would try to fight God. No, no. There is no devil. God himself is the God and God himself is the devil. Oh, it is all one. It is all one. There is no two. This is what Janaka is saying in the next verse. In fact, the next 2-3 verses are the same. Yeah, he's saying there is no other. There is no duality. Yeah. Verse 4. Yatha nato yato bhinnas taranga phena budbuda atmano na tatha bhinnam vishvam atma vinirgatam. As waves, foam and bubbles are not different from water, so this world which emanates from the self is not different from oneself. He's saying the spouse, the child, the parent, the money, the car, the house, all this has emanated from oneself, from the Turiya. The Turiya has projected the waker and the waker's world. It is only a 16, 17, 18 hours projection. It has come from the Turiya, from the self. It is not different from the self. It is the self itself. Yeah. Are you able to see that the foam of your wealth, the wave of the car, the bubbles of criticism and insult, the tsunamis of anger and hatred and greed and lust, they are all nothing but water of pure consciousness? Are you able to see it yet? See it, huh? Not intellectually deduct. No reasoning here, no analysis, no deduction, no deductive logic. Seeing it, seeing not through these physical eyes, but seeing it from the vantage point of the witness consciousness. Are you able to see that it is all just my projection? It is all one. And then are you able to allow the witness consciousness or the Turiya to collapse, the I sense to collapse, and then you get a glimpse of everything is one. Oh, it's all one. Yeah. You have all had this glimpse where you said, is this real or is this not real? Has it happened? For everyone? At least one glimpse in your 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of life? Yes? Oh, is this really happening? What is that moment? In that moment, there were no two. There was a oneness felt. And that oneness felt so, it felt that this world, whatever is in front of me, the objects, the room, the person, is an illusion, is not real. Yeah? That is your moment of truth. That is your moment of truth. But because the ego does not like, I do not exist, it does not like this fact, it says, no, come back to the waker. This is real. This person is real. My dear parent, my dear child, my dear spouse is real. This object is real. The money is real. It wants to hold on to this. Yeah? It's not the fault of the waker. The waker is always going to believe in its waking world. The witness must not get fooled. The witness must always maintain its stand. See, I am the knower of the body-mind. The body-mind is doing. The body-mind is experiencing. I am simply knowing what the body-mind is doing. I am not the doer. I am simply knowing what the body-mind is experiencing. I am not the experiencer. This distancing, this constant distancing helps you reach a point where that moment where you saw that is this real or is this illusion, that moment becomes constant. It doesn't come for 1 minute and goes away. It becomes your steady constant. You're all the time like that. Yeah? You're all the time in awe, in wonder, in amazement. That is where Janaka is. That's why he says, Aho! Aho! Aho is, in English, aha! Amazing! Wow! Yeah, the problem arises when you try to see it from the wrong standpoint of the waker. When the waker takes the blame of projecting the evil one, and then he starts wondering, why would I project this evil person? Why would the waker project the unhappy event? Why would the waker want to have unhappiness? Why would the waker want to project the object that causes suffering? No, again you've slipped to the wrong stand. You're seeing it from the wrong stand. That kind of wrong understanding is called ignorance, ajnana. Going back to the correct stand as the witness of this body-mind is jnana. Slipping from this stand to the stand of the waker is ajnana. Yeah. What happens in ajnana? There is an assumption that the waker is projecting the waking world. No. This is wrong. This is an error. The waker is not the projector. The witness is the projector of the waking world and the waker. The waker itself is a projection. Has this clarity happened to you yet? Are you clear that the waker is the projection, not the projector? You see, and you write it in your Vidarshana column. Do you really see this? See it, yeah? Not intellectually comprehend it. Do you really see this? Your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana practice will help deepen this realization. It will become a moment-to-moment realization. Then you'll be very clear, oh, it is the pure consciousness that is itself producing the bubble of the waking world. In the bubble of the waking world, the waker is there. And all the waker's attachments are there. So the projector is the pure consciousness. Mind you, I've gone beyond Turiya. I've gone beyond the witness consciousness now. Yeah? Pure consciousness is projecting the bubble of the waking world in which the waker is there. This is revealed by Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Yeah? You'll come to a point where you'll see, oh, it is the pure consciousness itself producing the bubble of the dream world. In this dream world bubble, there is the dreamer and the dreamer's attachments. Yeah? So the projector is the pure consciousness. Then you go deeper when you recognize the gap between two dreams. Anybody recognize that there was a blankness between two dreams? Superb, very good. Even if you got a glimpse of the blankness, even if there was nothing else that you retained, just that there was some blankness between two dreams. That's how I know there are two and not one dream. Otherwise, how could I tell that, oh, I saw multiple dreams? Multiple means the gap in between the dreams. Otherwise, you would say, oh, I had one long continuous dream. Right? So, if you know that you did not have a long continuous dream, if you knew you went into 2, 3, 4, 5 dreams, that means you know the gap between two dreams. That is the deep sleep state. Actually, there is nothing like deep sleep. Gap simply means only I am there. Only I, the Turiya, is there, the sense of I, which knows that the dream has collapsed now. oh, there is nothing to see, there's nothing to see, nothing to know. And then the Turiya also rests, it collapses. Yeah, so there is nothing like a deep sleep state. Yeah. From the waker's point of view, there is a deep sleep state. From the dreamer's point of view, there is a deep sleep state. But when you come to the level of pure consciousness and you observe that the sense of I, which is Turiya, the fourth, that collapses, and there is just the darkness, the nothingness. The nothingness is not known when the nothingness is there, because darkness cannot be recorded, blankness cannot be recorded. Only in that nothingness, when the Turiya arises, the sense of I am arises, the I thought arises. Who knows that the I thought has arisen? Who knows that the I thought has come up? Pure consciousness. That is the moment you have taken a step back, recognize the I sense has come up, and then it holds on to something. Some thought, some feeling, some perception of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or some sensation in the dream. And the dream begins. Yeah? You came out from the darkness of deep sleep, so-called darkness of deep sleep, which is nothing but only the presence of pure consciousness or nothingness. Yes? From that you recognize the sense of I came up. Then you got so trapped in the sense of I and its tragedy or comedy scene in the dream that you forgot yourself. And this forgetfulness happens moment to moment to moment. So it is the pure consciousness itself projecting the I and the I holding on to the dream. So the pure consciousness projects the dream bubble in which the dream character is there, as well as the dream world is there. If you see this very clearly, you transition to waking, you will see that the waking is also a bubble in which this waking character just came suddenly on the bed, lying on the bed. There's the sensation of the body, opens its eyes, and the waking world is there. Yeah, so you will realize this first in your dream. It's the easiest to see in the dream. It's harder to see in the waking because the I wants to be someone here. In the dream, the I is very has a lukewarm interest. It's not so intensely attached. Its attachment is more intense here in the waking. That is why you see it easily in the dream state first, and then you can progress to extending that to your waking state. Then it becomes very clear. It is the pure consciousness that is projecting the bubble of the waking, pure consciousness projecting the bubble of the dream. And when there is just pure consciousness itself, that mistake of the waker and the dreamer is called the deep sleep. There is really nothing like the deep sleep state. So the projector is the pure consciousness. This realization happens. And what is the master key? When will you know you have recognized that? When you see the I standing alone. Either at the end of the dream, when the dream has collapsed, there's simply the sense of being knowing the nothingness, and then the sense of being or sense of I collapses. That is the time you will see it. Or you will see it when it arises from the deep sleep and moves into a dream. First the I arises, and then the dream scene comes. Then the dream scene appears. First the I appears, the sense of I. Yeah. Who is knowing? Somebody has to be beyond the I to know, no? Something has to be beyond the Turiya, the I, the sense of I, that knows the sense of I is arising and collapsing, I is arising and collapsing. What is that beyond? That is the pure consciousness, which does not say I. What an irony. The real I does not say I. And the one that says I is not real. It's an illusion. Yeah? Why illusion? Because it appears and disappears, appears and disappears. It is temporary. It is not permanently there. That is why it is an illusion. Clear? So it is the pure consciousness itself that produces the bubbles of the waking, the dreaming, the idea of deep sleep, which really is not a state, as well as the bubble of the witness, the turiya, the sense of I. Yeah? It is the higher witness, the pure consciousness is the higher witness. It is the projector as well as the one who perceives its own projection. That is why it is the higher witness. Remember, all these bubbles, waves, foam are nothing but the same water of consciousness. Yeah, just like in a hologram, the light source projects the light, and so many ways, so many different colors, so many different angles, so much different intensity of light that it appears to be real. But who does it appear to be real to? Only to the waker. The witness can see the illusion. Yeah. So if this part is clear, this verse, what he's saying is clear, we'll do a little self-inquiry meditation, a little tip for you so that you can attempt to get there, to where Janaka has reached. How does he see the spouse as a bubble and the child as a wave? How does he see all his money and name, fame only as a tsunami? Why can't I get there? That is your question, right? Yeah. Maybe this little self-inquiry meditation helps you. Yeah, so pens down, you'll get the little recording of this self-inquiry. So don't worry. Avanti, can you just record the audio just for this inquiry so they can write it down later? Let them just focus on meditating right now. Yeah, so she'll record it for you. You just focus on meditating with your eyes open. This is not a closed eyes Dvaitam meditation. No. The waker is not meditating. When the waker needs to meditate, he needs to close his eyes. You are not the waker. You are the witness, and the witness does not have eyes. Yeah, witness cannot see, so there are no eyes to close. Keep your eyes open. Very, very clear. This is an Advaita level meditation. Dvaitam level meditations were primary school. Now we are proceeding towards college and university. Yeah. So attempt that you are not one of the dropouts. Yeah. Attempt to get into college. Move into higher education. Okay. Keep your eyes open. Alert, aware, 100% here. Take a step beyond the body. Recognize that the body is sitting still on a chair or on the floor. Recognize, I am the witness of the body. I am not the body. Similarly, recognize there is some other thought arising or a feeling arising and passing away. Thought plus feeling is nothing but the mind. I know a thought means I am separate from the thought. I am at a distance. I know a feeling arising and falling means I am at a distance. I am separate from the feeling. Which means what? I am the witness of the thought or feeling. I am the witness of the mind. Now stay there. Attempt to stay there as the witness of the body and the witness of the mind. Do you recognize that you are like a witnessing awareness field in which there is the body, in which there is the mind that is coming up, disappearing again, coming and disappearing. When the body sensation is there, the mind is not there. When the mind comes, the body is disappeared. Do you recognize this? It's only one perception at a time. Can you see it is only information of a sensation that is arising and then you think you are the body? Can you see there is simply the information of a thought that is arising and then suddenly you think you are the mind? Can you drop this wrong assumption and stay beyond? Simply stay beyond. Now, from this vantage point, from this standpoint of the witnessing field, do you recognize that there is no spiritual seeker seeking Ashtavakra's wisdom? Do you see there is simply information or data of a spiritual seeker that is seeking this wisdom? Look around at your room now. You could be sitting in the same room in a dream. How do you know whether this is a waking room or a dream room? Anyways, whether waking or dream, either ways there is only information of a room. Only data, only knowledge. There is no proof of a room that exists independent of your awareness. When it is simply information or data or knowledge, recognize that the waking knowledge simply arises and sets. The moment you were perceiving the room, you were not perceiving the body. The moment you're perceiving the body, you're not perceiving the mind. Are you noticing this? It's simply information that arises and sets, appears and disappears, appears and disappears. Similarly, dream knowledge also simply appears and disappears. Deep sleep darkness is also an assumption, an assumed knowledge that appears and disappears. But all this is essentially the water of knowledge. All the foam, bubbles and waves are nothing but the water of knowledge. Only data, only information. The data is so real, it appears objectified. You have a pen or paper, touch the object. You feel this is so real. How can this be information? Again, take the step beyond the waker that is touching the waking object. from the witness's standpoint, you will be able to see this waker is also information, and the waking object that it has touched is also information, data, knowledge. Like a computer program has a program code which is nothing but 010100001111. Yeah, there's nothing there. But when it plays on the screen, there is a nice, pretty looking animated character dancing and singing on the screen. That character is not real. What is real? The 0100000011, that program code is the reality. Similarly, can you see this witnessing awareness field as the reality, in which there is simply the information of the waker and its waking world? And this waker operates automatically according to the script of the waking world. It is on autopilot. The waking world in which it operates, that is samsara. Now turn away from the samsara and turn away from the waker. Focus simply on the witnessing awareness field. Simply on the witnessing awareness field. Where there is simply the sense of I am. Not I am this, not I am that. Simply the sense of I am. That is Atma. Follow Atma. Follow this Atma. Follow the I. Do you notice the I dissolves? The sense of being suddenly disappears, and there is a blankness, a nothingness. That feel of nothingness, devoid of the sense of I, is Paramatma, the pure consciousness. That is the program code hidden behind all the scenes of the waking. You are Paramatma. You are God. The God of everything. Once you see you are Paramatma, you will see that the Atma, the sense of I, arises like a wave in it and again dissolves. Attempt to do this self-exploration later when you are alone by yourself in a closed room. That is the moment you will notice the I arises and dissolves, and arises and dissolves. In the presence of a you, the I stands tall. It does not dissolve easily. That is why it's important to do the self-exploration when the waker is alone by himself in a closed room. And you will see that the I arises and dissolves. The sense of I is not continuous, not permanent. Those who've done I am that, we did it in chapter 2. Yeah. Maharaj said in chapter 2 itself that the sense of I is not continuous. It keeps appearing and disappearing. Appearing and disappearing. In the ocean of Paramatma, the waking bubble appears and disappears. The dream foam arises and dissolves. the deep sleep wave appears and disappears. And the sense of I, the Atma, appears and disappears. The waking bubble, the dream foam, the deep sleep wave, and the Turiya tsunami. All four together is Paramatma. All is you. You alone are. You are Paramatma. Just like the waves, foam, and bubbles are not different from water, so the world that emanates from the self is not different from oneself. Stay with this self-exploration meditation for the next 5 minutes, and in the Vidarshana column, write down whatever you see, whatever is your seeing, and then take a 1-2 minutes restroom break and come back for verse 5.